Initially, it's a 4-week assignment where students, I ask them to engage with each other and to communicate with each other and see if we can actually get any kind of worthwhile conversation happening in that tiny constrained space, because we only have 140 characters to work with. So it's always interesting to me to see what kinds of conversations students can get into and what kinds of conversations that I can have with them in this very kind of tiny space. I think a lot of them do get a good amount of, I think there are a variety of benefits that come with it. One thing I've noticed, just because I teach a lot of writing courses, is that students tend to become more concise in their writing. They're a little bit clearer. They have a better awareness of who they're talking to, why they're talking to them, what they're trying to talk to them about. And just on a day-to-day level, if students have any questions, there's a greater accessibility with them and with me, that they feel comfortable talking with me, they feel more comfortable talking with each other. So there's an element of transferability there, that they have some degree of comfort communicating with each other in this very specific way, specific medium, but that tends to translate to the class. Just a little slice of information, and I think that part of it deals with too is that the creators designed it so that it would work better with cell phones and with texting, because that's I think one of the primary modes of communication now is just these very short little bits of information, but then things can kind of explode out of that. And how I use it in an academic context is that I've had quite a few publishing opportunities come up that way, just because of starting conversations and finding out, okay, we both follow this person, so maybe I should pay attention to what they're doing. And this is actually something that I advocate for some of our graduate students in the MA program, is that if they're interested in things like digital rhetoric, social media, video game studies, that where a lot of the interesting conversations are happening, they are on blogs, but the more day-to-day distribution systems, news items, where it's happening on Twitter. There's always that potential for engagement. Like if you're on there, there's always that chance that someone's going to respond to you. And depending upon how you decide to use it, whether you're more social and say what you have for breakfast every morning, which is one of the criticisms of it, depending on how you use it, you will get followers based on how you use it. A community will develop based on how you use it. Whether you're a fan of the Detroit Tigers, maybe you'll get 10 to 15 people to follow you just based on that, because you made a couple offhand comments about a play last night, or you engage somebody in a more academic context and talking about video game studies, and so you will either get attention or get followers based on that. Not everybody is using Twitter or any other kind of social media for that matter for honest and true purposes. That there are some nefarious endeavors trying to happen through that, even through Twitter. I'm a big fan of the Detroit Tigers, and so I follow Dan Dickerson, Mario Mpemba, Rod Allen. I even follow some of the players. Will Rhymes, Casper Wells is on there. Robbie Weinhardt is pitching for Toledo now. He's on there. But yeah, usually one of the windows that I'll have open anytime a Tigers game is on is I'll have the Tigers hashtag in a search bar and just see what other people are saying about the game. And sometimes I'll say stuff, but sometimes it's almost like a secondary spectator sport, just to see what everybody else is saying about it. It's kind of similar to, I think it's kind of similar actually to sitting in a bar, and just everybody's is in this one place for this particular purpose. And so you'll hear bits of different conversations going on, but they'll all be about the same thing.